Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're really excited to roll out the FollowUp CRM and QuickBooks integration for you. So in case you are new around here, my name is Rachel Hughes, and I'm over the marketing here at FollowUp. And this is our CEO, Eric Vargas. Eric, say hi. And we have a new face for you. This is Christy Cox. Christy is our support specialist. She came on board and she is a genius. Christy has taken over the support chat, and today she's going to help us demo the QuickBooks integration. So if you're in the system and you hit the help button, you'll be corresponding with Christy here. And we've been building this integration, and so Christy's been integral to that process. So she's here to sort of help show us around. So while we're waiting for everybody to jump in, would you guys mind just please put in the chat where you're tuning in from and maybe what industry you serve? It's always good to just see who's here today. We usually have a good mix of roofers and electricians and concrete and etc. So yeah, go ahead and put that in the chat and we'll give everybody a few more minutes to jump in. Hi, Jonas. Jonas is in flooring. We have Bill.
Hey, Bill. I see you there. How's it going?
Welcome. As we're waiting for everybody to jump in, just want to give you an overview of what we're going to be demoing today. Today's webinar is all about the FollowUp CRM and QuickBooks integration. This integration will soon be released for teams on the team plan. So if you're interested in setting up the integration between your FollowUp account and your QuickBooks account, you'll need to be on the team plan or higher. That's a super easy switch to make. So in the chat right here, I'm just going to go ahead and put the link. If that's you, if you're not on the team plan or higher and you would like to be, this is a quick Calendly link to set up a short meeting with our customer success manager, Christine, and she'll get you all set up. But if you are on the team plan or higher, this integration will be available to you. So that's how you get set up. Okay, so we're going to jump in pretty quickly here. The setting up of this integration is super simple, but I'm going to pass the mic over to Eric, and he's just going to give us sort of an overview of how FollowUp and QuickBooks work together.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Hey, Sharon. I see you there. How's it going? Post in the chat. I want to see you guys, or hear from you at least. I'm going to share my screen here, and then we'll do kind of like a 10,000-foot view of the integration, and then we'll get into specifics of exactly what transfers back and forth. And then Christy will kind of walk us through a little demo of it, and we'll see it live within the system. So let me share my screen. Can we see that there?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. If you guys have any questions in the chat, just post that in there. I have that up here on the side. Now, QuickBooks integration. First of all, I'll say we are only starting off with QuickBooks Online. Okay. If you have QuickBooks Desktop, that is coming, and it's going to look very similar to what we're going to show you here today. Pretty much the same thing exactly. Just QuickBooks Desktop for contractors is a little bit more complex because it's not in the cloud. So step one was to do QuickBooks Online. Step two is going to be desktop. So if you're on desktop, just hang tight. We'll probably have that here in early 2024. So what does the QuickBooks Online integration do? At a high level, what you're able to do is push contacts, companies. You're going to be able to create estimates from FollowUp, which is pretty cool. You'll have workflows, meaning you'll be able to send emails with different data points to people within your company. And then you'll also be able to see your profits on a job and pull data back into FollowUp so that you can see, you know, how much are we spending on labor on this job or materials? And then at the end of the day, what's the final gross margin on your projects? So this is an all-encompassing integration. Super excited about it. And it kind of brings two worlds together, because if you're selling jobs, that's great, but we have to make sure they are profitable, right? So now into the details of the integration here. What it looks like here on the left-hand side, we have the FollowUp CRM data objects. Now, objects are kind of the big categories of data in FollowUp. And then underneath that, you can kind of think of a project, the project page. There's so much data on that page that we also integrate with. So projects, companies, and contacts integrates with QuickBooks project, company, and contacts. Now, the first thing is, what is this? Let's go back. Okay, so the FollowUp project to QuickBooks project integration is a little unique because QuickBooks does not have a two-way integration for QuickBooks projects. So the way it works, and we'll show you how it works live within the system, is that you have to create the project in QuickBooks, and then we can pull all that invoice data back into FollowUp. Okay, so what does go two-way? The companies and contacts. And usually the way the flow works is that you can, let's say you have a new lead, you enter the new lead into FollowUp, then you can push that company or contact into QuickBooks, right? So no more double entry there. And then in QuickBooks, you're creating that project, and then you can sync that project with the FollowUp project and bring all that data back in. So that's what it looks like at a high level. I just kind of have words to describe it, but now I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that Christy can share hers and walk through exactly what it looks like.
Right.
All right, so here we go. Okay, so let's start off with the project page here. Let's go through linking to QuickBooks. So this is the flow that we've created, and you'll see how to create a customer or select an existing customer. The contact that we see here is actually taken from two places, either the project page if it's not created, or if it already exists, it will take that contact from QuickBooks and then it will appear right here. So that's why you have two options, because the contact may or may not already exist within the system. So if you're creating a customer, all that information will push over. You can go ahead and click on create customer there. And that's it. So now that Carla has been created, you'll see you're prompted to create a project within QuickBooks. Now that is a link to QuickBooks that you can click on, and it opens up QuickBooks for you, where you can go then create that project. Okay, so Chrissy will go in and create a project name, enter in kind of like that standard project information, and you'll see that that contact was created by FollowUp, right? Cool, looks good. So now this is kind of like the project financial dashboard. And Chrissy, could you scroll down a little bit here? Right here, I want to show this because this is the information that's critical for salespeople and project managers to be monitoring over the life cycle of a project. Like I said, we want to make sure that we're actually selling and doing work for a profit. We don't want to work for free or paying people to work for them, right? So what we're able to monitor here is revenue or income. So invoices coming in, costs, which would be labor, materials, and then what we want to really keep our eye on here is our costs and our labor hours. So let's say a project is estimated to take a month and we're 4 weeks in. We want to make sure we have a week left, so we can hit our profit targets, right? And if our project goes a little bit over, we'll be able to start tracking that to see if we're actually getting profitable work. Okay, so now Chrissy, you can go back to FollowUp, and then we'll show them how to link the project together to this FollowUp project. All right, so here you can see, there it is, QuickBooks demo project, link and sync, and boom, income summary synced. So now that the projects are connected, you'll see right there, QuickBooks income versus cost, very similar to what we were just looking at in QuickBooks. And right here, we're looking at a summary of the income, expenses, and profits. So at a glance, you can see what's going on, right? Bill, I see a question. Are there user rules connected to QuickBooks? Great question. Actually, I didn't even talk about that yet, but I'll hit pause and get into that. So I should have started there. Thanks, Bill. So when you connect QuickBooks, you as a owner or the champion at the company are allowed to assign who has visibility and access to this integration, right? So for example, we've seen some scenarios where they don't want the salespeople, they don't want the project managers to have access to the integration. They want the billing department to do this, right? So you can assign the users that you want access to this integration so that in the back end, you can just assign the user and then they have access and you'll see that button. If not, then the button will be hidden and not visible to that user right there. Yeah, exactly. Let me know, Bill, if that answers your question. So from here, we have our QuickBooks module. Now click on View Details. If that does not say View Details, it will say Project Not Connected. That will be an indicator for you that we haven't pulled that information back into FollowUp and that link is not there. So here, it looks very similar to what we were looking at in QuickBooks. You'll see the income, the cost, and then the profit here. And then on the second tab right there, we'll see transactions. This is the details of those three categories. So you'll be able to see how much this costs, how much that costs, how much labor hours are in each one of these categories. So that will be able to pull that data in so that you can track projects and make sure you're getting profitable ones.
Great.
Cool. So that is how we pushed contacts, companies, and pulling the data back for profitability. The next thing I want to show you here is we can click on QuickBooks Actions, is creating an estimate. Okay. Creating an estimate allows you to bring in your QuickBooks estimate data into the platform so you can see some examples. These in the drop downs are actually directly pulled from QuickBooks. Okay. So you can select one and then that'll also bring in, the price, and then the quantity is editable for the customer or for the user. And then you can add that there, build out your estimate with all the different line items.
Great.
And
Eric, I think we have a couple of questions in the chat.
Okay, here we go. So Bill says, yes, Bill. So in your settings area, you'll be able to assign who has access to that. Jonas, your question, is it based on accurate or cast basis? It's going to be based off of however your QuickBooks is set up. And then we have another question. Can percentages be added to income and costs? I would need to know a little bit more about what you're looking for, meaning percentage-wise. So like the profit. So if you can describe a little bit more what you're looking at, looking for there, I'd be interested. Percentage of income. So you want to see the profit as a percentage of income? Okay, that's great feedback. I'll have to check with our development team to see what we can do around that. But yeah, I'll take a note of that and check in on that. Cool. So yeah, so we just created an estimate. Now, if you come here to view estimates, you'll see the one that we just created. You can edit it if necessary. But then once this has been created, it's in QuickBooks ready to go for invoicing. So very nice and simple. And that's it when it comes to estimates. Last thing here is about workflows. So with our customer interviews, one of the use cases that we built out for is to email billing because of the use case of the situation where the sales and estimating team, project management team doesn't do the billing, doesn't do the invoicing, and having those separation of teams. So what we want to do is create the connection between those two teams. So if you click on email billing, this takes you to the email section, and you can see here we have a QuickBooks template where you can go ahead and add that in there. Actually, let's go to the template creation, actually. Yeah, or edit it, or yeah, whatever. Okay, that's great. So here you'll see, if you scroll down a little bit, just the project information, but you'll also start to see the QuickBooks data as well. So scroll down a little bit more. We'll see here. So all these that you see here, text user, these are custom fields that are able to be pulled in from QuickBooks. Now, once you put together your email using the QuickBooks data, you could send that to your internal billing department, AR, collection, whoever it is, and then they can pick up the ball and begin the invoicing process there. So that was the other use case that we built that out for. When you send that email, it will be noted in the bottom notes section so that you can have that there for your historical records. So that is that. Chrissy, I just want to hit pause. Anything that I missed that you think would be good to note?
No, you hit all of these specific things. I guess one thing I will say is that there's this sync income summary button that if you're making changes in QuickBooks in real time, that you can come over here and click this. But if you back out of the project and then go back into it, it will automatically sync for you, and it'll notify right here. So that's just a nice addition to it, that you don't have to always be updating it to sync. It will do it for you upon reentry. So
great.
Christy, could you also show them just where they would set this up, like where they would integrate the two programs?
Yeah, that'd be great. And then this is also where you can give access to particular users as well.
Right. So in company settings, there's this QuickBooks integration right here. And then ours is already set up, but it'll just say connect. And when you click it, it will come up for you to put in all your credentials. And then user management is where it will give you all of your users here. And then you can select the ones up here that you want to have all of the access in FollowUp to the QuickBooks Actions menu. And then only those users are able to have access. So yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Great. All right, guys. Any other questions? That's the integration in a nutshell.
Yeah, if you do have more questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. If your company's on QuickBooks, this is a fantastic time-saving tool. Not only does it eliminate double entry, but it also comes with that built-in capability to kind of bridge departments, maybe your billing and your estimating departments. So in a lot of cases, those departments are pretty separated from each other. And so this is the bridge between those two things. And then, of course, for those of you in the higher level of leadership, your task is to unify all of that, right? The sales numbers with the spend numbers. And so that's what that cost versus income summary is for. So that means as the decision maker, you can make accurate, informed decisions really quickly, which saves you time and money. I think we have 2 more questions that just popped up.
Jonas, it's available. So just click that link that Rachel sent here with Christine. This is not available for anyone on a legacy plan. I think most of you here are on our current plan with us, so I don't think that should be a problem. Sharon, yeah, we're already in works with that for desktop enterprise, so it's going to be very similar. Another thing I would like to say is that this is version 1, right? And we did, several customer interviews to get feedback. But we want to add more. We want to grow this integration even further. So whenever you guys have feedback or any kind of suggestions around features, integrations, Chrissy, could you go to that help icon right there? please do come in here, scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see suggest a feature, right? So in there, you can say, would love if QuickBooks did this or that. And then you can say that there, and then have all of our other user bases to vote on that feature. That's how we build the product, based off of your suggestions. So don't be shy, reach out to us and post there. Will reports be available with income summary data? So currently there's no reports, but the gross margin is available in the report area. If there's any other reports, I would love to, hear that from you in the suggested feature area.
Yeah, that's great. And John, yeah, this video will be available. What I'll do is I'll send a recap email to everybody who registered, so that'll come to your inbox today, along with a couple other things. So one of those things that will be included is that we want to invite you guys to our webinar for next month. Next month, we're doing a joint webinar with another of our integrations, the Estimating Edge. Can you guys put in the chat if any of you guys use the Edge? This is a great estimating tool. It helps you make your estimates with precision and speed, and by integrating FollowUp and the Edge, you're sort of buying back your time. So that's going to be on November 15th, and we're going to take a look at how all the information from FollowUp, similarly to QuickBooks, but of course in a very different area of the pipeline, pushes to the Edge. So the link to sign up for that one will be in your recap email, as well as this recording. And then, of course, we want to make sure that you guys have gotten the invite to join us at the conference this February. I think some of you are registered, maybe Gabrielle, maybe Sharon. Post in the chat if you guys are coming down to Florida in February. We have about 50 seats left-ish, but they're going really fast. So this is a free conference. Yes, free conference for you. All you have to do is cover your travel and your lodging, but we've got you there. Thank you, Gabrielle. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be at the Hard Rock Hotel there in Fort Lauderdale. And we've got a group rate for the lodging. So you can sign up. I'll put the link in the recap email, of course. And we would love to have everybody come on down for that. It's going to be day and a half, 2 days of keynote sessions. We have a lot of great content planned. And then, of course, we're just going to hang out in the South Florida sun. So all of that information, as well as the recording and maybe a few tutorials about the QuickBooks integration, will be coming your way in a recap email. So if there's anybody on your team that wasn't able to join today, maybe billing or maybe accounting, or anybody that you'd like to share this with, forward this along, and that way they can watch us on 2 times speed or whatever they want to do, and just take a look at this. And like I said, if you want to, if you need to upgrade your plan to team, you can catch that link in the chat. It'll also be in the email this afternoon, and we can get you set up with this. So as always, thank you so much for joining. Anything I missed before we sign off and say bye?
We're good. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Christy.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.